friends. Welcome to Commerce classes. So, as you can see over the screen, today our topic is formation of a company. In the first chapter, in the forms of business organization, हमने ये पढ़ा था कि different forms of a company, right? Different forms of organization. So, company was a form of a organization. Company हम बना के we can run the business, we can perform the activities, right? सो आज की क्लास में हम ये पढ़ेंगे कि उस कंपनी को बनाया कैसे जाता है विद द लीगल ऑब्लिगेशंस लीगल स्टैट्यूटरी रिक्वायरमेंट्स राइट सो ये चैप्टर जो पूरा द प्रेजेंट चैप्टर जो है वो दैट डिस्क्राइब्स इन सम डिटेल्स द स्टेजेस इन द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ ए कंपनी राइट सो फॉर्मेशन ऑफ ए कंपनी में क्या क्या स्टेजेस इन्वॉल्व होते हैं ईच स्टेज में क्या क्या रिक्वायरमेंट होती है लीगल रिक्वायरमेंट्स होती हैं दैट वी विल गो थ्रू right? So formation of a company, basically we will divide into three stages: promotion, incorporation, and subscription. That is subscription of capital. So starting with the promotion, we have heard the words owners or promoters, right? So what do you mean by promoters? And what do you mean by promotion? So promotion is the very first stage in the formation of a company. प्रमोशन स्टार्ट कब से होता है व्हेन यू गेट एन आइडिया अबाउट ए कंपनी जब आपके पास कोई आइडिया होता है टू डू ए बिजनेस एंड टू फॉर्म ए कंपनी वहां से प्रमोशन स्टेज स्टार्ट होता है एंड उस आइडिया को कंपनी फॉर्म में लाने तक जो भी रिक्वायरमेंट्स होती है वो प्रमोशन स्टेज के अंदर आती है दैट विल फॉर्म पार्ट ऑफ प्रमोशन स्टेज so what does promotion stage include so it begins with the somebody having discovered a potential business idea right so any person or a group of person कोई एक आदमी भी इन्वॉल्व हो सकता है या और एनी अदर ग्रुप ऑफ पर्सन भी इन्वॉल्व हो सकते हैं सो हु हैव डिस्कवर्ड द अपॉर्चुनिटी एंड उस अपॉर्चुनिटी से लेके कंपनी फॉर्मेशन तक जो persons involved होते हैं they are called promoters so here as you can see a company is legally ready to commence business are referred to as stages in the formation of a company those who are taking these steps and the associated risks are promoting a company and are called promoters or owners right so a promoter in simple words a promoter is said to be the one who undertakes to form a company with reference to a given project and to set it going and who takes the necessary steps to accomplish that purpose right तो प्रोमोटर के अलग अलग एक्ट्स में अलग अलग डेफिनेशंस होते हैं बेसिक अपना फॉरमोस्ट मेन डेफिनेशन होता है सेक्शन 69 ऑफ कंपनीज एक्ट राइट सो ए प्रोमोटर मीन्स ए पर्सन हु हैज बीन नेम्ड एज सच इन द प्रोस्पेक्टस और इज आइडेंटिफाइड बाय द कंपनी इन द एनुअल रिटर्न रेफर टू इन सेक्शन 92 में जो एनुअल रिटर्न की बात कही गई है और प्रोस्पेक्टस में जिसका नाम लिखा हुआ है वी विल हम प्रोस्पेक्टस के बारे में और आने वाले क्लासेस में पढ़ेंगे आने वाले मिनट्स में पढ़ेंगे राइट सो जिसका भी नाम प्रोस्पेक्टस में लिखा हुआ है दैट इज द प्रोमोटर और ओनर ऑफ द कंपनी राइट सो प्रोमोटर के फंक्शंस क्या होते हैं नाउ वी विल गो थ्रू द स्टेज वन प्रमोशन राइट so what does promotion involves I have said that it involves conceiving a business idea and taking an initiative to form a company so that practical shape can be given to exploiting the available business opportunity right so who are promoters promoters are personally liable for all the contracts which are entered by them for the company before its incorporation promoters of a company enjoys a fiduciary position with the company which they must not misuse उसका गलत फायदा नहीं उठाना है promoters को अपने powers का गलत फायदा नहीं उठाना है sorry they can make profit only if it is disclosed but must not make any secret profit तो जब भी लीगल डॉक्यूमेंट्स बनते हैं आने वाले हम मिनट्स में पढ़ेंगे मेमोरेंडम ऑफ एसोसिएशन आर्टिकल्स ऑफ एसोसिएशन एमओए एओए राइट तो उसमें सारी डिटेल्स हम कवर अप करेंगे राइट तो कोई भी प्रोमोटर्स जो भी हैं उनको सीक्रेट प्रॉफिट नहीं करना चाहिए जो कि इलीगल माना गया है अगर उनको कोई प्रॉफिट शेयरिंग रेशियो चाहिए तो दैट शुड बी मेंशन्ड इन द डॉक्यूमेंट्स अभी हम देखेंगे प्रोमोटर के फंक्शंस क्या होते हैं प्रोमोटर्स जैसे कि मैंने कहा जब से बिजनेस आइडिया आपके पास दिमाग में आया व्हेन यू गॉट अ बिजनेस आइडिया इन योर माइंड फ्रॉम दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम टिल द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ ए कंपनी व्हाट ऑल आर द फंक्शंस ऑफ ए प्रोमोटर ठीक है तो इसको याद करने का तरीका मैंने एक निमोनिक बनाया है आइडेंटिफाई नेम फिजिबिलिटीज फॉर अपॉइंटिंग योर सिग्नेचर ओवर डॉक्यूमेंट्स आप अपने नाम के डिफरेंट परम्यूटेशन फिजिबिलिटीज में डिफरेंट परम्यूटेशन कॉम्बिनेशंस फैक्टर्स निकालो फॉर अपॉइंटिंग योर सिग्नेचर ओवर डॉक्यूमेंट्स आपको अपने सिग्नेचर मारने हैं डॉक्यूमेंट्स के ऊपर सो दैट मीन्स यू हैव टू आइडेंटिफाई योर नेम और योर सिग्नेचर सो ये आपका न्यूमोनिक है First point is identify, that is identification of business opportunity. What does this mean? Business opportunity means idea. This is the first and the foremost activity of a promoter, that is to identify a business opportunity, right? The opportunity may be in respect of producing a new product or service. So जो आपका आपका जो idea है, what is that idea? To manufacture or to provide, to render the services, that is called business opportunity or an idea. ठीक है, सच अपॉर्चुनिटीज देन एनालाइज्ड टू सी इट्स टेक्निकल एंड इकोनॉमिक फिजिबिलिटी. आपके माइंड में एक आइडिया आया, राइट, टू डू ए बिजनेस. देन दैट आइडिया, वो आइडिया के ऊपर आपको वेरियस फिजिबिलिटी स्टडीज करनी है, दैट इज कॉल्ड फिजिबिलिटी स्टडीज. कि वो कितना प्रैक्टिकेबल है, राइट, आपके पास कैपिटल है कि नहीं है, वो प्रैक्टिकेबल है कि नहीं है, आपके पास स्ट्रेटेजिक एडवांटेज है कि नहीं है, दैट दिस ऑल थिंग्स. So feasibility studies means what? The promoters undertake detailed feasibility studies to investigate all the aspects of the business they intend to start. Depending upon the nature of the project, the following means these three, the following feasibility studies may be undertaken with the help of the specialists like engineers, chartered accountants, actuaries, right? So different professionals के ideas और different professionals के services हम use करके हम ये feasibility studies करते हैं, right? So first we can see technical feasibility. Sometimes an idea may be good but technically not possible to execute, right? It may be so because the required raw material or technology is not easily available. आपके पास एक idea कोई आया that I have to do this business, but उसके raw material या उसका टेक्नोलॉजी आपके पास या आपके नियर बाई स्टेट या सिटी में अवेलेबल नहीं है. सो दैट इज कॉल्ड टेक्निकल फिजिबिलिटी, राइट? फॉर अनदर एग्जांपल वी कैन से that one person needs a particular metal to produce the carburetor, right, in the vehicles carburetor. If that metal is not produced in the country, राइट, देन दैट मेटल हैज टू बी इम्पोर्टेड फ्रॉम अदर कंट्री. उस मेटल को हमको दूसरे कंट्री से इंपोर्ट करवाना पड़ता है. दैट इन्वॉल्व्स अ ह्यूज कॉस्ट, राइट? तो दैट इज टेक्निकल फिजिबिलिटी. वी हैव टू चेक whether all the relevant requirements are available or not, right? Next is financial feasibility. So every business require funds. सब business को पैसे की जरूरत है, capital की जरूरत है, right? So the promoters have to estimate the fund requirement for the idea they have there in their mind. जो भी आइडिया उनके माइंड में है, उस आइडिया को एक्चुअल में इंप्लीमेंट करने के लिए कितना कैपिटल चाहिए होगा, दैट द प्रोमोटर्स नीड टू आइडेंटिफाई. दे हैव टू एनालाइज दैट, दे हैव टू एस्टिमेट दैट, राइट? So if the required idea for the project is such a large that it cannot be easily available with the available funds, then the company or then the project has to develop or has to see any other means of raising capital, right? तो अगर आपके पास ऐसे कोई आइडिया है जिसके लिए ह्यूज कैपिटल, ह्यूज फंड रिक्वायर्ड है एंड आपके पास उतना कैपिटल नहीं है, देन आपको और कोई तरीके ढूंढने पड़ेंगे to find out that how to accumulate your capital. Friends, circles, investors, loan, these are all the possible ideas, right? जिससे आप capital accumulate कर सकते हो. So this is financial feasibility. The next one is economic feasibility. Sometimes it may so happens that a project is technically viable and financially feasible, but the chance of it being profitable is very little, right? आपके पास रॉ मटेरियल्स अभी है, आपके पास कैपिटल भी है, बट इकोनॉमिकली अगर हम देखें इस सिटी में वेर यू रिसाइड्स और वेर एवर यू वांट टू डू बिजनेस, दैट सिटी और दैट प्लेस और दैट स्टेट इज नॉट इकोनॉमिकली वायबल टू डू द बिजनेस, राइट? इन सच केसेस द आइडिया मे हैव टू बी अबेंडेंड. वो आइडिया को हमको ड्रॉप करना रहता है, राइट? सो प्रोमोटर्स इस केस में क्या करते हैं, दे टेक हेल्प ऑफ एक्सपर्ट्स टू कंडक्ट स्टडीज, राइट? फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ यू वांट टू सेट अप ए मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इंडस्ट्री on a ground which is nearby to a lake, right? So due to that humidity or atmosphere, आप वहां पर अपना बिल्डिंग सेटअप नहीं कर सकते, दैट इज इकोनॉमिकली नॉट पॉसिबल. सो वहां पर हमको एक्सपर्ट्स के हेल्प की जरूरत रहती है टू स्टडी द नेचर ऑफ द सॉइल, राइट? कि वहां पर वेदर वी कैन कंस्ट्रक्ट अ बिल्डिंग और नॉट. सो दैट इज ए इकोनॉमिकल फिजिबिलिटी, राइट? सो वन पॉइंट टू बी नोटेड दैट दीज एक्सपर्ट्स, जो भी एक्सपर्ट्स होते हैं, डू नॉट बिकम प्रोमोटर्स, राइट? जो भी एक्सपर्ट्स का हम हेल्प लेते हैं टू स्टडी दीज फिजिबिलिटीज, दे डू नॉट बिकम द प्रोमोटर्स, दे जस्ट प्रोवाइड दिस सर्विस विथ रेस्पेक्ट टू और विथ एक्सचेंज फॉर ए फीस. वो अपना फीस लेंगे एंड दे प्रोवाइड द सर्विस, राइट? सो दिस वाज द फिजिबिलिटी स्टडीज. द नेक्स्ट वन इंपॉर्टेंट इज नेम अप्रूवल. जैसे यहाँ पर मैंने आपको बताया नेम, राइट? आपका भी कोई नाम होगा, सो कंपनी का भी कोई नाम होगा. सो वी हैव टू टेक द अप्रूवल ऑफ ए नेम which has been identified by us or promoters, right? So, having decided to incorporate to a company, the promoters have to select a name for it and submit an application to the Registrar of Companies. In short, ROC, right? Registrar of Companies of the state. अगर आप दिल्ली में कोई कंपनी फॉर्म करना चाहते हैं, राइट? देन दिल्ली के आरओसी को आपको सबमिट करना पड़ेगा फॉर नेम अप्रूवल, right? For example, if you have idea that I will be putting my name of the company XYZ Limited, right? So you have to submit that I have an idea of an XYZ Limited company with the name of the XYZ company, and you have to submit with the proper forms and applications to the ROC of Delhi, right? So in that manner, we have to seek approval from the ROC of the state where we want to do the business, right? Because for example, the main reason behind this is that आप कोई भी similar name use नहीं कर सकते या same name use नहीं कर सकते. For example, we have a Britannia or Apple, so you cannot take the same name, right? For that we have to take name approval. The ROC will check whether the same name is there over the world or not, right? And if the same is not available, means a new name is there, then the ROC will give you the approval. So name approval we want to take. Next point is fixing up signatories to be memorandum, to the memorandum, right? Memorandum of association. So promoters have to decide about the members who will be the signing the memorandum of association. जैसे कि मैंने पहले बताया था, there are two documents, main documents, MOA, AOA, memorandum and article of association, right? Memorandum of association and article of association. So promoters को ये decide करना रहता है कि these documents, these two important documents के ऊपर signatories कौन कौन होंगे, who will be the signatories, right? So usually the people signing the memorandum are generally it is seen that those who sign the memorandum and memorandum of association, right? They are the directors of the company, first directors of the company, right? They written consent to act as directors and to take up the qualification shares in the company is very much necessary. Agar suppose you are forming a company, you are the promoter, and you want me to sign the memorandum of association, then you have to take consent of mine, right? That I want to act as a director and I want to take up the qualification shares, right, in the company. So I will be acting as the director at then, right? So this is fixing up the signatories. Promoters का ये एक अहम काम रहता है that they have to decide the signatories or they have to decide the persons who will sign the memorandum of association. The next important function of promoter is appointment of professionals. Like आपके पास आइडिया है but you are not capable of doing everything, right? Marketing, finance, production, managing, operations, right? Everything a single person cannot manage. So you have to hire such professionals. So certain professionals such as for example, you have to also hire bankers, auditors, right? Those who are appointed by the promoters to assist them in the preparation of necessary documents which are required to be presented to the ROC. तो स्टार्टिंग में आपने नेम अप्रूवल ले लिया आरओसी से, देन यू हैव टू टेक सर्टेन अदर अप्रूवल्स from ROCA, right? So for that approval, you are a layman, right? You do not have everything, you do not have the knowledge of everything, right? So you have to take help of any other professionals. So for that, you will hire that. For example, the names and the addresses of the shareholders, the number of shares allotted to each shareholder is submitted to the registrar in a statement called return of allotment. So for that, we have to submit various other documents also to the registrar of the companies of the state, right? So for that we have to appoint few professionals or hire few professionals. And the last important function of a promoter is preparation of necessary documents. What necessary other documents? I said in the above point that the promoter takes up the steps to prepare certain legal documents which have to be submitted under the law to the registrar of the companies for getting the company registered, right? And the foremost two important documents are memorandum of association, articles of association, along with consent of all the directors, right? As I said here, fixing up signatories point, that we have to take the consent of the directors, right? That consent also we have to submit to the ROCs. So these are the basic functions or the basic work a promoter want to do. Right? As I said, now the documents required to be submitted. Now we will go in depth of the memorandum of association and articles of association. So first is memorandum of association. What is memorandum of association? So it is the most important document as it defines the objectives of the company. मेमोरेंडम ऑफ एसोसिएशन में आपके कंपनी का ऑब्जेक्टिव लिखा रहता है दैट आपकी कंपनी क्या बिजनेस परफॉर्म करेगी, आपके कंपनी आपके बिजनेस का ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है, राइट? No company can legally undertake activities that are not contained in the memorandum of association, which means क्या, that अगर आपने MOA में कोई अपना बिजनेस पर्पस या ऑब्जेक्टिव नहीं लिखा है, राइट, वो बिजनेस आप नहीं कर सकते. In other words, that जो business purpose, whatever business purpose you have mentioned in the MOA, that only business only you can perform in actual. Other than that you cannot perform. आपने लिखा है that you will be manufacturing some steel requirements, right? Steel machines you have mentioned in the MOA, right? तो आप सिर्फ स्टील मशीन्स मैन्युफैक्चरिंग का ही काम कर सकते हो. अदर देन दैट यू कैन नॉट डू एनी अदर बिजनेस. If you want to do any other business, then you have to modify your MOA and submit again to the and for the approval of ROC, right? So MOA के कुछ मेन clauses होते हैं. Name clause, as I specified that this clause contains the name of the company with which the company will be known. आपने नेम अप्रूवल लिया है आरओसी से, सो आपके कंपनी या आपके बिजनेस का नाम क्या है दैट यू विल मेंशन इन द एमओए, द फर्स्ट क्लॉज, नेम क्लॉज. नेक्स्ट इज रजिस्टर्ड ऑफिस क्लॉज. जैसे कि मैंने बताया कि वेर एवर यू डू द बिजनेस इन दैट स्टेट और द स्टेट और आरओसी ऑफ दैट स्टेट यू हैव टू सीक अप्रूवल. सो आपका हेड ऑफिस या रजिस्टर्ड ऑफिस कहाँ होगा, वेर ऑल द फॉर्म्स ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन विल बी डन, राइट? सो आपके रजिस्टर्ड ऑफिस क्लॉज में what will be there, this clause contains the name of the state in which the registered office of the company is proposed to be situated. If you want to set up your head office in Delhi, then the state is Delhi, New Delhi. If you want to set up your business in Bhubaneswar, then the state is Odisha, right? So in that manner and so on, the registered office clause goes on. Next clause is object clause. This is the probably most important clause, right? As I said, it defines the purpose for which the company is formed. A company is not legally entitled to undertake an activity which is beyond the object stated in this clause. The main object for which the company is formed are listed in this clause. So, translating into Hindi, that अगर कोई business object आपका है, that whatever you have an idea, उसी ऑब्जेक्ट को आपके इस ऑब्जेक्ट क्लॉज में मेंशन करना है. अदर देन दैट यू कैन नॉट परफॉर्म एनी अदर बिजनेस, राइट? इफ यू वांट टू परफॉर्म ए सर्विस ऑफ कंसल्टिंग, सो आपका ऑब्जेक्ट क्लॉज में आएगा कंसल्टिंग सर्विस. अदर देन दैट यू कैन नॉट प्रोवाइड एनी अदर सर्विस, राइट? सो ऑब्जेक्ट क्लॉज इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट क्लॉज. ओके. द नेक्स्ट इज लाइबिलिटी क्लॉज. हमने प्रीवियस क्लासेस फर्स्ट क्लासेस में देखा था फॉर्म्स ऑफ बिजनेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में दैट दैट the liability of the member is limited, right? Limited, how much is it is limited? The limited of the members to the amount unpaid on the shares owned by them. Limited liability. So liability clause involves that. For example, if a shareholder has purchased 1000 shares of rupees 10 each and has already paid rupees 6 per share, so his liability or his or her liability is limited to rupees 4 only, the amount which is unpaid, right? So that is the liability clause. And the last clause is capital clause. This clause specifies the maximum capital which the company will be authorized to raise through the issue of shares, the which is called as authorized share capital, right? The authorized share capital of the proposed company along with its division into the number of shares having a fixed face value is specified in this clause. For example, at this point of time, at the time of you are incorporating the company, you are promoting your company, right? At this point of time, that you estimated that the total capital that is required by your company is 25 lakhs, right? So 25 lakhs is your authorized capital which you will issue in the market, which the normal persons will invest in through IPO, initial public offer, right? So that 25 lakhs will be divided into small portions of 10 rupees each, or if of 1 rupees each, in such a manner as decided, right? So accordingly, the number of shares is allotted to the different shareholders, right? So that is the capital clause. How much is the maximum capital, how much is the authorized capital, how much is the paid up capital and issued capital, all those stuffs is mentioned in this clause. The next important document is Articles of Association. Articles of Association are the rules regarding the internal management of a company. Memorandum of Association में हम objects mention किए थे. Articles and Association में हम rules mention करेंगे. Means how to do the operations of the company, how to perform the operations of a business, right? So these rules are subsidiary to the Memorandum of Association and hence should not contradict or exceed anything stated in the MOA. MOA is the foremost or topmost documentation. आर्टिकल्स ऑफ एसोसिएशन में ऐसा कुछ क्लॉज नहीं मेंशन होना है जो कि एमओए के ऑपोजिट हो, राइट? So for example, आपने you have mentioned that in the MOA object clause, you will manufacture some steel machines, but in the articles of association you have mentioned to perform a service that contradicts your MOA, right? So that should not be the case. In the articles of association, it is the complementary or it is in relation to the MOA. It should not contradict or exceed whatever mentioned in the MOA, right? These few points need to be taken care, right? What, as I mentioned, that articles of association is about regulation for the management of the company. It includes provision for entrenchment to the effect that the certain provisions of the articles may be altered only when conditions and procedures are as restrictive as special resolutions are complied with. The provision for entrenchment may be added either at the time of formation of the company or by a special resolution in case of a public company, and an amendment in the articles agreed to by all the members in case of a private company. So articles of association, if आपके इंटरनल ऑपरेशंस या मैनेजमेंट करने का कोई प्रोसेस चेंज हुआ है, देन यू हैव टू अमेंड दैट आर्टिकल्स ऑफ एसोसिएशन, राइट, विद द रिजोल्यूशन. The next main document is consent of proposed directors. हम what subject we are doing study now? What topic we are studying now? Documents required to be submitted, means documents required to be submitted to the ROC. So first was MOA, second was AOA, third is consent of the proposed directors. So, this is a written consent of each person named as a director in required, confirming that they agree to act in that capacity and undertake to buy and pay as qualification shares for qualification shares. तो मैंने जैसे बताया था previous points में in the functions of promoter में, that whoever signs the MOA, they are treated as directors, and from those person we have to take the consent that they are agreed to be act as a director and they agreed to buy and pay for the qualification shares, right? Next important documentation to be submitted to ROC is agreement. The agreement which the company proposes to enter with any individual for appointing as a managing director or a whole time director or manager, right? So whoever we are appointing as a top level management, right? So whatever agreement we do with that person, we have to submit to ROC as well, right? So these documents is required to be submitted to the ROC for getting the company registered under the Act. The next important document is statutory declarations. A declaration stating that all the legal requirements pertaining to the registration have been complied with. For example, in the documents, in the resume, you see that I agree that all the above facts are true and fair, right? In the similar manner, the promoters are required to state or to declare that all the information they have given while incorporating the company, while formatting the company, they are true, right? So this statement should be or can be signed by an advocate or a chartered accountant or a cost accountant or a company secretary in practice who is engaged in the formation of a company, and by a person named in the articles as a director or a manager or secretary of a company, right? So these statutory declarations shall be signed or shall be attested. The next important is receipt of payment of fees. No doubt whatever we do there involves a fees, right? So ROC also need a fee. So along with the above mentioned all the documents, necessary fees has to be paid for the registration of a company. The amount of such fees shall depend on the authorized share capital of the company. In the law, in the Companies Act, it has been mentioned that in the rules of the Companies Act, it has mentioned that the fees will be dependent upon the authorized share capital of the company. What is authorized share capital? I have mentioned in the capital clause that it is the topmost or maximum capital which we want to raise from the public, right? So that is the authorized share capital. This was all about the promotion stage. Now we will jump towards incorporation stage, or stage 2. So after completing all the formalities of promotion, promoters make an application for the incorporation of the company, right? The application is to be filed with the ROC. ROC is the main here authority, right, of the state within which they plan to establish the registered office of the company. The application for the registration must be accompanied with certain documents about which I have already discussed in the above part, right? So once again, in the incorporation state, you have to submit an application to the ROC of the state where you want to do the business or set up the registered office, right? Along with the application, you want to submit all the stuffs, right? What are the stuffs I am mentioning again? MOA, AOA, written consent of the directors, the agreement with the managing director or whole-time director or manager, a copy of the register letter approving the name of the company. Means you have taken the name approval from ROC previously, right? You have to attach the same. And a statutory declaration affirming that all the legal requirements have been complied with, and a notice about the exact address of the registered office may also be submitted along with these documents, right? And the fees receipt, whatever fees is there, the receipt of the same, you have to attach all these 8 to 9 documents along with the application of incorporation, right? After this, when the registrar is satisfied about the all the completion of the formalities of registration, the registrar issues a certificate of incorporation or COI in the name of the company, which certifies or which signify that now the company is able to do the business. And one thing to remind that important, the certificate of incorporation or COI is a conclusive evidence of the regularity of the incorporation of a company. Until and unless you hold the COI, it means you can do the business. You are authorized to do the business, right? And along with this, along with the certificate of incorporation, the ROC also allot a CIN or corporate identity number. It is similar to like you have PAN or Aadhaar card, right? So that is the identification of a natural person. So CIN is an identity of a artificial person or a company, right? So this is the stage 2, it is the stage of incorporation. And the final stage, it is the subscription of capital or capital subscription, right? Now you are authorized to do the business, right? So a private company, if we want to form a private company, if we have submitted the documents for a private company formation, then a private company can immediately commence its business. It can raise necessary funds from friends, relatives, or through private arrangements and proceed to start business. But in the case of public company, it is very much different. Public company can raise the required funds from the public by means of issue of securities, which I said IPO, that is initial public offer, right? Through shares and debentures. For doing the same, it has to issue a prospectus, which is an invitation to the public to subscribe to the capital of the company and undergo various other formalities. So, if a new company is formed, right? You have formed a new company. I am a normal lay person who want to invest in the companies through share market or capital market, right? So, how would I know that you formed a company or you want capital? So, for that, you have to do some communication, right? So, prospectus is that form of communication where you will mention that the name of my company is this, I am doing this type of business and I need this much of capital for doing that business, and I will use these capital for these purposes. So and many other, I have illustrated few examples. Whatever else is there in the prospectus, right? And many other formalities are also done while raising money through IPO, right? So, what are the steps which have to be followed for raising funds from the public? The first is SEBI approval, Securities and Exchange Board of India, because we are going to list in the stock exchanges, right? National Stock Exchange or Bombay Stock Exchange. So, for that stock exchange, the SEBI is the foremost authority. So, we have to take the approval of SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India. So, what does it mean? A public company inviting funds from the general public must make adequate disclosure of all the relevant information and must not conceal any material information from the potential investors. This is necessary for protecting the interest of the investors. Prior approval from SEBI is required before going ahead with raising funds from public. As I said, we have to issue in prospectus. So whatever truth is there, we have to mention in the prospectus, right? We should not hide anything, or we should not say anything false information in the prospectus. So for that, we will require approval from SEBI that we are going to raise funds from the public. We are going to come up with an IPO. So please approve that IPO. So we require SEBI approval. The second is filing of prospectus. A copy of the prospectus or statement in lieu of the prospectus is filed with the ROC. Now here comes the ROC. First was the SEBI, now ROC. What I said, a prospectus is any document described or issued as a prospectus, including any notice, circular, advertisement, or other document inviting deposits from the public or inviting offers from the public for the subscription of the purchase of any securities. Securities here means shares or debentures, right? So, in other words, an invitation to the public to apply for the securities of the company or to make deposits in the company, whatever documents we issue, that is called prospectus. So we have to file the prospectus with the ROC. Next is appointment of bankers, brokers, or underwriters. As I have said in the promotion stage that we have to appoint few professionals. In this stage also we have to appoint few professionals, right? So what are the functional functions of these three: bankers, brokers, and underwriters? What will do they perform, right? So bankers. So the application money, whatever, you are the company, right? You are forming the company, you are the promoter. I am the normal share lay person who wants to invest in your company. So how will I invest? Through Demat account, through digital account, right? So whatever the application money or whatever money I will pass on to you or to your company, which is to be received by the bankers, that is to be received by the bankers of that company, right? If you appoint SBI, State Bank of India, if you appoint ICICI Bank, so those bankers will receive the money from the various persons. Now, okay, now the second is broker. What work broker does? The broker tries to sell the shares by distributing the forms and encouraging the public to apply for the shares. You are the promoter, I am a normal lay person, right? Normal man. How will I come to know about your company? From the prospectus. But how will I come to know about your company's objectives, or how will your company perform, whether I'm investing in a profitable business venture or not? So these brokers try to sell these shares by convincing the normal public. Please invest in this. Please invest in this company, right? So that is the work of a broker. And what is the work of an underwriter? For example, if you have authorized share capital, maximum share capital rupees 100, right? And the public has subscribed for 90 rupees of shares. So there left 10 rupees of shares. That 10 rupee of shares will be bought by underwriters. So whatever under subscription is done, or whatever shares which is not subscribed by the public, that shares, that number of shares, the underwriters undertake to buy, right? Okay, so these were the work of three persons: bankers, brokers, and underwriters. Next one is minimum subscription. There is a requirement in the Companies Act, in the law. right? In order to prevent companies from commencing business with inadequate resource. Means if you want rupees 100 to do a business and the public gives you only 50 rupees, so you do not have enough capital to run a business, right? So for that, as per Companies Act, a minimum subscription clause is there. And also as per SEBI guidelines, the limit of minimum subscription is 90% of the size of the issue. If you have issued a lot, means if you have authorized share capital of rupees 100 and if rupees 90 is received, then it is okay. But if it is rupees less than 90 received, then either the underwriters should buy the shares or you have to drop your idea and again you have to come up with a fresh IPO after some time, right? So the if the application received for the shares are for an amount less than 90% of the issue size, the allotment cannot be made and the application money received must be returned to the applicants. Means whatever 50 rupees you have received from the normal persons, you have to refund that money because you haven't received the minimum capital of rupees 90 or 90%, right? The next is application to stock exchange. As I stated that we will be coming with the IPO, and that IPO will be traded over the stock exchange. That shares will be traded over the stock exchange, for example Bombay Stock Exchange or National Stock Exchange. So for that we have to submit the application to the stock exchange that we want to list our shares, our company shares in your stock exchange. Okay, so for that, an application is made to at least one stock exchange. There are main two stock exchanges in India, BSE and NSE. So at least one stock exchange we have to make an application for seeking the permission to deal in its shares or debentures. And the final is allotment of shares. Till the time shares are allotted, application money received should remain in a separate bank account. As I said, that the bankers will receive the application money, and until 90% is received, that money is kept in a separate bank account. And if all the formalities are done, we have received 90%, even 100%, even more than that, right? So that money then will be allotted on a pro rata basis, or as per the decided of the as per the decide the promoters decide, they allot the shares to the normal persons, and from that point of time the normal person is a shareholder of a company, is treated as a shareholder of a company, right? And to whom we allot shares, an allotment letter is issued, right? And to whom we did not and we could not allot shares, we will refund the money. We will issue a letter of refund to them, right? So this all process is followed when we are required to raise funds through shares or debentures from the general public. For that, a mnemonic or a short form you can in sequence, it is all in sequence, right? You cannot do upside down or in middle. So this should be on all in sequence. So the sequence is SFA MAA. SFA MAA. SEBI, filing, appointment, minimum subscription, application, allotment, right? So these are the various formalities we have to do. Okay, so this was all about the formation of a company, the all three steps of a formation of a company: promotion, incorporation, and subscription. Right. So, in case of any query, please do comment. And if you like the chapter, if you like the study, please like and share. Thank you and stay safe.